everyone, this is Fantasy Ask, and welcome back to Season 2 of Royal Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had some sickness, our royal physician unfortunately got heat stroke, and then we had some border disputes. This episode is a glorious one, because we have finally located Hemlock and brought her into the grotto. So I am very, very excited to dive in and see what her compatibility with Bearpelt might be like. But guys, we are in the second turn of Greenleaf. It is Moon 100. Let's dive into the Leader's Den real quick. Okay, so Queen Rainstar looks like she's doing pretty good. She's back on the saddle now and maintaining all of her alliances. And then, let's take a look. When Royal Clan finds her, Hemlock is highly skeptical of her old clanmate's offer to return. The clanmates that drove her from her nest, from her home, now want her to return. Warily, Hemlock allows herself to be led back to camp. And of course, in our context, we know that things are a little bit different to what I just read out, because Hemlock was actually left, I think, by her two legs by the side of the road, and I think she was sick with something. She had some, I think, white cough. I think she had white cough. And yeah, they didn't want to look after her, so then we helped guide her back to 7th Clan. And I think maybe Hemlock passed the grotto on the way to 7th Clan, and I think she was a little bit taken aback that the royals weren't going to accept her straight away into the grotto and instead make her a 7th. But you know, we have found her and we have elevated her to nobility. So yeah, she's been raised to nobility by Queen Rainstar. So now, you know, she is in the grotto seeing it all for the first time, and maybe she's feeling a little bit wary because she, I think, recently has been used to being treated not so nicely and is a little bit worried about how things are going to work out with the royals and whether she's going to be able to, you know, stay here with them. Icicle Speck is feeling much better. He's recovered from the heat stroke, which is excellent. Ghost Feather, unfortunately, has gotten heat exhaustion. Queen Rainstar has recovered from birthing her litter. And then Hemlock has recovered from white cough. If we were to have like a good sign, I feel like this is a good sign as any that Hemlock was meant to be with Bearpelt, you know? And then, Hemlock has gotten fleas. Well, I mean, we had a good sign, we had a not so great sign, but hopefully fleas are not going to be as big of a deal as the white cough was. I was a little bit worried about her being sick and, you know, how long she would be able to last with us. But thankfully she recovered from the white cough. But let's take a look at Hemlock, and there has been some changes in the Queen's court. So to encourage Hemlock to, you know, kind of make things work with Bearpelt, Queen Rainstar has actually not only elevated Hemlock to nobility, but she has given her a place in the Queen's court as the new royal physician. And unfortunately, that means she has demoted Icicle Speck to be the matchmaker. So that is what he's going to be doing. And so Ink Feather has kind of left the Queen's court because she was no longer needed in the Queen's court. But yeah, it seems as though we have started filling up the Queen's court with a lot of outsiders. A lot of like nobles, cats that like aren't royalty. They weren't born within the clan. But that's okay, that is okay. But this is Hemlock! Look at how pretty she looks. She's a female senior adult with green-yellow eyes and a tawny pelt. She's got such a pretty brown tawny pelt. She's 113 moons old. She's cunning and a great hunter, which is very nice. And if we are to look at her descriptor, she is a long-furred dark brown brown mottled she-cat. So long-furred dark brown / brown mottled she-cat. Which is quite nice. I feel like she and Bearpelt would make really pretty kittens. And Bearpelt is an unusually dappled black tom. I actually feel as though, like, I wouldn't be too surprised if their kitten came out looking like Ghost Feather, but I hope there's a bit more variation than that. But still, I think it'll be really, really cute and pretty to see what they get. Definitely, it's going to be different from Fierce Kit. Definitely not as light, I would think, as Fierce Kit, but you never know. That's the exciting part. But yeah, I really like this visual combination, so I'm super excited for that. Now, let's go over to the medicine cat den, see what's going on here. So Ghost Feather has heat exhaustion. Hemlock has fleas, just a minor little thing. And she can only care for up to 16 cats. Oh. And we have exactly 16. So, this does mean that should Hemlock have her litter, or as soon as Hemlock actually has her litter, we are going to have to expand the Queen's Court. So maybe we will have 2 royal physicians in Hemlock and Icicle Speck. And then Inkfeather can come back in as the matchmaker. We might have to expand the court so that we can account for all of the clan members. Okay. Well, let's go through relationships and see what's going on here. Icicle Speck notices that Queen Rainstar always gets better fresh kill to eat. Icicle Speck, Inkfeather, and Ghost Feather had a nice talk while eating. Icicle Speck sees Cinnamon Tail put something back where it belongs. Flailstorm saw Ghost Feather show off a skill he never knew he had. Flailstorm gets a bunch of cats up for morning stretches and they don't like it. Flailstorm tried to explain something to Freezefur, but he just didn't understand. Shining Stripe reassures Hemlock about something that was bothering her. Shining Stripe learns something new about a clanmate from Freezefur. Flarefreckle compliments Quillrunner on his bravery today. Flarefreckle and Cinnamon Tail always have something to share with one another. Bearpelt is told about Ghost Feather's bravery during a recent time of struggle. Bearpelt approves of Ghost Feather's recent efforts. Inkfeather and Hemlock heckled another clan at the gathering together. Inkfeather knows that Fierce Kit would be saved before her during an emergency. Quillrunner is making up a new clan with Shining Stripe. Quillrunner got a bunch of cats up for morning stretches and they didn't like it. Quillrunner spends some time sheltering with River Whistle during a storm. Foxclaw realizes that he misunderstood something Flarefreckle said. Foxclaw thinks that Fierce Kid is acting overly dramatic lately. Ghost Feather tells Garlic Glow that there's so much to see in the world. Ghost Feather is frustrated that Fierce Kit won't take her actions more seriously. I mean, she's a kid, Ghost Feather. She's a kitten. Freezefur appreciates Fierce Kit telling him that he had a feather stuck to his face. Fierce Kit doesn't entertain a rumor that is being spread about Freezefur. Garlic Glow thinks Queen Rainstar is very polite. After Ghost Feather says something seemingly innocent, Garlic Glow sulks for the rest of the day. Cinnamon Tail admits that Queen Rainstar did something clever. Maybe he is thinking that she did something clever with, making Hemlock a member of the Queen's Court and making her the royal physician as a way to kind of make her feel, I think, a little bit better about being in the grotto and a bit more secure. Queen Rainstar nearly tripped but was caught by Fierce Kit. Flarefreckle bats a bit of fluff in front of Cinnamon Tail and gets him to play a game. River Whistle always brings food to Flailstorm so he doesn't have to walk to the fresh kill pile. Hemlock feels like she can count on Icicle Speck to give her the best treatment possible. Hemlock and Freezefur find out they're both bringing flowers to the same clanmate's grave. The last cat that passed away was who? Frostfade? Yeah, Freezefur had a crush on Frostfade, and I think maybe Hemlock wanted to give her respects to, the most recent cat to pass away in Royal Clan, so probably went to see Frostfade. And then Fierce Kid stretched in front of Freezefur. Freezefur didn't get a great view. Okay, and that's all we have for our events, so let's, wrap up and move on to the cat list. Okay, let's continue with the cat list. First up, we have loyalties, and I wanted to see whether Hemlock, the newest member to join us in the grotto, is going to be thankful enough to Rainstar to maybe be loyal to her, or if she's gonna, be more wary and keep her distance. And guys, it seems as though Hemlock is one of the anti-loyalists. So Rainstar is still only relying on Cinnamon Tail to back her up. But yeah, Hemlock, I think she wants to kind of keep an eye on things and see how it goes in the clan in the grotto. She doesn't entirely feel too secure just yet. But also, she is a cunning cat. So I feel like she would want to stick around and kind of feel the vibe of all the other cats kind of stick to the majority, see what everyone else is feeling, and really what kind of a leader Rainstar is. So yeah, she's an anti-loyalist, because that's pretty much what the other cats, that's the perspective the other cats have, and I don't think she feels cozy or bold enough to kind of go against, the flow. So there is that. Now, in terms of relationships, I only noticed one thing, guys. One thing. And it was with Ghostfeather. Ghostfeather, who currently has heat exhaustion, actually hates Flailstorm. And it is not mutual as of yet, so it is not an enemy ship, but he hates Flailstorm, and I was trying to figure out why this might be the case. There are only a couple things in their history together. I think Flailstorm maybe made a comment to Ghostfeather about the clan that was kind of crude. Maybe they were struggling to find, in the few moons beforehand, Hemlock, and Flailstorm maybe made a comment about that, and how, the newer generation, the newer leaders, they don't really know how to run things, and everything was so much better when the founders were, running the clan and taking care of things, and the new generation of warriors maybe aren't as tough as the founders were and the older cats were. And I don't think Ghostfeather, who, is one of these younger cats and adventurous, took that too well, especially because Flailstorm doesn't seem to be actively doing anything himself, kind of just passing remarks. So yeah, I think that's probably why Ghostfeather has come to hate Flailstorm. So there is that. Now, we need to go ahead, guys, and shift some things around with our cats. We need to break relationships, and we need to make some matches. So Bearpelt, he knows this has been coming for a while, and he has somehow managed to delay it for a couple moons, but finally, Foxclaw knows that he must break off his relationship with Foxclaw to ensure things go as smoothly as possible with Hemlock. So he is actually going to break it up with Foxclaw. And then he is going to be paired up with Hemlock. So go ahead, and I don't know. Okay, so this is not a compatible match between the two of them. Hemlock is cunning, Bearpelt is shameless, but fingers crossed they'll be able to maybe gain an understanding of each other. But there we go. They have been paired up, and obviously they're going to start off with enough relationship, like 2 bars of romance, which is going to be them considering each other and seeing whether they really will make a good match or not. But I think also Rainstar giving Hemlock this position in the Queen's Court as a royal physician is kind of to show her the kind of life she could have in the grotto if she has a litter. If she breaks up and doesn't have a litter, then obviously her status is going to be taken away from her, and she's going to be relegated to a servant again. But yeah, this is supposed to be incentive. So now let's go to Icicle Spec and see if Icicle Spec can go ahead and have a good matchmaking session between Hemlock and Bearpelt. So let's see how this goes. Okay, look at that. Romantic interest, respect, comfort, trust, platonic like has increased, dislike and jealousy has decreased. Now with Hemlock, she's cunning, so I imagine she's looking at Bearpelt, just kind of seeing the relationships he has in the clan, the influence he kind of has in the clan as one of the more prominent characters and personalities, and she probably feels as though being in his good books and good graces is probably the best thing for her. He could probably show her the ropes around the grotto. And Bearpelt is probably looking at Hemlock, and I mean, he's shameless, right? Yes, he was a little bit freaked out at first when he realized that his turn to have a litter was coming up and it was going to affect his relationship with Foxclaw, his pursuit of Ghostfeather. But now that Hemlock has come in and she's in the picture, Bearpelt's flirtatious side is definitely coming out, and I think he likes what he sees, so he's getting quite excited. So things are off to a good start so far, and I'm pretty sure that I have made it so that they can have kids, the two of them. Yes, and Bearpelt's genes, he's got the sunlit ice eyes, the Bengal pelt, and he counts as a unusually dappled black tom. So I have a dark brown cat and a black cat. I think they would make some really cute kittens. between the two of them. So things are looking good. Things looking good so far. Now let's go ahead and see what everyone is doing for the day. Queen Rainstar promises to take care of the clan with her lives. Garlic Glow is annoyed to still hear gossip about her past. Oh, so some of the cats must have been talking about when Garlic Glow was leader. Yeah. Hemlock is finding the buzzing of the cicadas annoying. Icicle Speck is happy that he chose a life as the royal physician, although he is no longer the royal physician. I wonder how he feels about that, if maybe he's a little bit bitter that he got demoted. Inkfeather found a wonderful napping spot outside camp. Shining Stripe tries to set a good example for younger cats. Flare Freckle is grateful to Icicle Speck for her treatment. So obviously this was before the changes happened. Bear Pelt is debating swimming to cool down. Quill Runner is pretending to be a big evil warrior for Fierce Kit. Oh, that's so cute. Especially because Quill Runner is Fierce Kit's cousin, so I really love that he's playing with her. Foxclaw can't wait to take a nap later. Ghostfeather tries to set a good example for younger cats, so Ghostfeather, you are hanging out with Shining Stripe. Okay, that's kind of cool. Especially because Shining Stripe is actually enemies with Flailstorm, and we found out that Ghostfeather hates Flailstorm. So he could also be influenced by, hanging out with Shining Stripe. Maybe he's getting some of it from that. Freezefur is sitting in the shade, trying to hide from the heat. Cinnamon Tail is feeling restless. River Whistle enjoys the warmth of Greenleaf. Flailstorm is snoring loudly in his sleep. And Fierce Kid is looking forward to today. How adorable. But that is all we have for the cat list, so let's wrap up over here and move on to patrols. Okay, let's continue with our patrols. We currently have 73.9 prey and we need 41.5. We'll send out Hemlock, our royal physician, first off to see what she finds. Greenleaf is truly the best time of year to be a medicine cat, with the world so full of flowers and green growth. Hemlock heads out to gather fresh mallow for the stores. Proceed. It's always nice to harvest from a bush so big it'll probably never even notice the leaves and flowers Hemlock takes. Mallow is gathered, so it seems as though she had a good day out. She is settling into her role quite well. And we're going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 5. So first up, we have got Garlic Glow, Flare Freckle, Shining Stripe, Cinnamon Tail, River Whistle, and Quill Runner. Okay, let's see what they get up to. As the patrol is marking the borderlines, a gang of rogues strides out of the brush, challenging the clan cats. Proceed. Cinnamon Tail takes the lead, confronting the gang with confidence. Eventually, the rogues admit that they've been struggling to find enough prey and were looking to steal richer territory from the clan. Tensions are eased when Cinnamon Tail informs the rogues of prey-rich plains outside of royal clan territory. Look at that. It's so nice to see Cinnamon Tail, gaining more experience, taking the lead in certain matters, figuring things out a lot better than when he was younger. And, he caught like a rabbit that was having tremors and ended up poisoning himself and a bunch of other cats. Like, he's gone from making those kind of decisions, impulsive decisions, to these kind of ones. And then we have a patrol of 5 with Freezefur, Foxclaw, Bear Pelt, Inkfeather, and Queen Rainstar. So let's see what they get up to. The patrol stumbles across a large dog wandering in the middle of the clan's territory. Proceed. Inkfeather selflessly throws herself into the fight, and every time the dog tries to grab at her clanmates, she's there with claws, fur puffed out to twice her normal size. With Inkfeather defending them, the patrol drives the dog off, yowling triumphantly. Look at that. I feel like it's one good thing on top of another. The clan just found Hemlock in this moon. We got her paired off with Bear Pelt. They had a wonderful matchmaking session. Then we went out and we managed to drive off some rogues, and finally a dog, go up against a big dog as well. I think the clan is feeling really good, guys. I think the clan is feeling really good. But okay, with that said and done, I'm gonna leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.